Did you start this year thinking 2026 will be the year where all your dreams and hopes come true, but you see them all going down the drain and it's just March? Do you too feel like an absolute failure? Do you feel like everyone is leaving you behind and you're late in your own life, even though you were the designated overachiever? Fear not, I have just the solution for you. For just $0 a month, you can abolish the idea of there being just one correct path to living your life, thus you being behind because society has made these arbitrary stages one should be at by a certain stage and then made it impossible to reach any of them. College is expensive, jobs are sparse, being a house owner is a myth. So you can either feel like you're lacking behind or live a life that brings you fulfillment. But fulfillment is also a trend, and you're supposed to fit that in after working 9 hours a day for 6 days a week. To disappoint society is to be free. And did I mention it's just for $0 a month? Okay, Jade, that sounds very cool on paper, but where does one even start? That sounds impossible. Well, I have the perfect alternative medicine solution for you. Let's make a vision board that will give you some clarity of what you want your own life to look like, and not what everyone else wants your life to look like. So revolutionary. Hi, I'm Jade, and I hate New Year's resolutions. They feel so restrictive and they fail anyways. What I do love is vision boards. They feel more optimistic than restrictive. And since we are all in our collective hopium era, let's get a little hopeful. This video will mainly have two parts. I will explain to you my methods of figuring out what to even put on your vision board and then how to go about doing it, because yes, I do have a method. And then I will show you how I actually made my vision board as I discuss my personal goals. Whether you're watching this while having lunch or have me in the background as you do your work or chores, I hope you get something out of this video. Please see the timestamps and let's get into it. I have been making a vision board since I was 16. I used to make them on these huge cardboard pieces and hang them on my wall. Ever since moving out, I have been making them digitally because I do be moving. This is the first time in a while where I'll be making a physical vision board. Still portable because I still do be moving. To make this video, I was looking at the vision board I made last year. It turns out so much of my reality is what was on my vision board last year, which I reckon is the best part of making these boards, because sometimes you forget how hard you worked to be exactly where you are. So whether you're making them digitally or physically, you have to start with what to even put on there. Start with your last year summary. As you get older, weeks and months start blending into each other and don't feel as distinctive. So sometimes you forget all the good things that happened to you in last year, which is why I like to sit down and really go through everything that happened, the bad, the good, but mainly the good. Why you want to do this is because you want to remember everything good that you did last year, which you want to keep continuing doing into the next year. I also use my Photos app sometimes because I do forget. For example, I forgot that I went to see Coldplay. As you're going through it, just make a list of everything that happened and that you'd want to maybe do more of. Here I'm just making it on my iPad in a sort of a mind map way. Do whatever suits you the best. Make a list, put it on your notes app, anything. We just need that data. That is all. It doesn't need to be aesthetic. Now that you have a base, add on to it. Start thinking of everything that you may have wanted to do since you were a child. You have the time to do it now. Start adding onto the list that you already created from your last year summary, and think about your hobbies and things that you want to do. Maybe you want to visit a specific cafe in your town that you've never done, or maybe you want to take a specific hobby that you started last year to the next level. Don't think of these things as resolution. For example, your life won't be further worse if you can't visit Paris, but you put Paris on your vision board. What this vision board is supposed to do is to motivate you to work towards these goals. So maybe if you aim for Paris, that you want to go to Paris, maybe you'll start saving more. Maybe you'll start thinking of a career switch that will help you have enough money to visit Paris. Or maybe you have every other mean, but you don't get enough holidays, PTOs in your current job. So think about it in that way, not in a specific that if you put Paris on your vision board, you have to go there. I will discuss a bit more how your vision board is not linear in the next part a little bit. At this point, people will tell you to have the process photos rather than your goal photos. In my personal opinion, vision board is supposed to represent your vision. My vision is not to walk 10k steps a day, but my vision is to have a very strong body that I can depend on in my old age. You kind of have to strike a balance between the Lulu and things that you can get to realistically, because the things you put on your vision board have to be doable. I'm not going to say that you cannot become an astronaut right now, but if you think you're going to become an astronaut in 1 year, that is not going to happen. So that is like too Lulu. But if you say you want to start getting more involved in physics conventions, go to more of these conventions and start talking to people and maybe figure out if this is a career path you can take, you can do that. But you can still put astronaut on your vision board. in my personal opinion, and this goes completely against everything that Atomic Habit says. For me, the process should be in your journals, in your anywhere you track your tasks, because you'll have to break down your goals into tasks anyway. So I don't think you should have that on your vision board. Your vision board should have some vision that keeps you motivated every single day, in my personal opinion. Your goals have categories. If you've gone through the first two steps and you still can't figure out what to put on your vision board, here are a few categories in your life that you'll usually want to improve upon or work upon. For me, it's usually health, career, finances, relationships, and personal growth. For you, it may be more or less depending on what you prioritize. Start thinking of all of these categories in your life and see where you want to do better. Maybe you want to pull back a little, or where you want to be. For example, I had a goal in my last year's vision board to save a certain amount in my emergency fund. The goal that I had was a little bit unrealistic for the job that I had at that time. So I ended up switching my job, and I do now have that amount in my emergency fund. So to have that financial goal, I had to also look at my career goal. A lot of those goals will hit one, two, or maybe even more categories. So start thinking about where you are in your career and where you want to be, where you are in your finances and where you want to be, what you think about your health, etc. Now all of these three combined should help you to come up with a list of what you even want to put on your vision board. Also, don't take a help of AI in this. This is your vision board, not ChatGPT's. Here I'll tell you my mantra. Perfection kills progress. Don't be too anal about every single thing that you're putting on your vision board. Let's take the Paris example, right? If you put Paris on your vision board, but you're not able to go there, did you fail? No. Maybe you were able to save enough to go somewhere else. Maybe it gave you the motivation to switch your job, to get in a better paying job. Maybe it gave you the motivation to leave a toxic job that never gives you enough time off. It's not a failure just because you did not do that specific image that you put on your vision board. It's fine. Don't be too perfectionist about it, because this is about a broader vision. This is just to motivate you. Lastly, add some whimsy. You're gonna think I've been doing some gardening, if you catch my TikTok drift, but I like to making my vision board almost like a ritual. I carve out an hour or two, I have my craft supplies, I light a candle, I make myself some tea, watch something nice and inspiring. For example, PRX doing their generational run through VCTs. I like to make it a little bit ritualistic. I would recommend you do this with a friend. That is something I wanted to do, but my friend ended up moving very far away, so I couldn't do that. But if you can do it with a friend, do it with a friend. Do it with a group of friends. The reason being, when you're looking at your journal, you want to associate these good memories of you doing it, taking time out, feeling nice about you and feeling nice about your surroundings, and you want to associate with your vision board. So whenever you look at it, the feelings you have are good, because that is what it's supposed to do. Enough advice, enough gardening. Kind of truly do whatever you want to do. If you think I'm being a little stupid anywhere, I don't know much, probably neither do you. So do whatever you want to do, as long as it motivates you and keeps you going towards the life you envision for yourself. Now this is how I made my vision board. I just compiled all the images for my specific goals on Canva. Use any photo editing software you want to use. I used a little bit more high quality photo paper because I'm making it in a journal which would open and close a lot. I wanted to be able to withstand some wear and tear. As for the journal, I'm using a sketchbook, a hardcover sketchbook, which a hack. Sketchbooks are way cheaper than bullet journals. So if you want just high quality paper in a nice journal, get a sketchbook. Yes, I am cutting my images on a chopping board because I did not want to buy a cutting mat just for this one thing. Spending money mindfully is indeed one of my goals. Speaking of goals, let me tell you mine. Mindful spending. I really want to become more mindful of how and where I'm spending my money. I have so much stuff and it feels like I'll never be able to get the value out of every single thing I have, and you kind of just want to keep buying more, which is why I'm trying to do a low buy this year. I'll make a whole separate video about it, but the idea is not to restrict what I can get for myself, rather than valuing everything that I do get for myself and spending my money where I truly want to and get the value out of the money I spend. Like I got a coffee, it takes 2 seconds. So it's so easy with this quick commerce apps to just get anything that you want at any time. I want to become a little bit more mindful because I have been seeing myself slipping. The slow buy is more of a prioritization than a limitation. More memories, less things. So this is a perfect transition from the last goal that I mentioned. I want to travel more. I want to go to more concerts. concerts, I want to take more classes, I want to spend my money where I can make more memories, maybe build a little bit for the future. Being able to afford a house in your 20s is sort of a myth unless you are like in the top 5-10% of people making money in their 20s. I know I won't be able to buy a house. What I can do in my 20s is still make memories that I'll carry with me for the rest of my life, or build some hobbies that I'll be able to do for the rest of my life. And I think that is an excellent investment. Health first. I think it is finally time to have a body that I am proud of and confident of. And being in your 20s is so funny because you're so young that you want to go all out, but you also need to start thinking about when you grow old, because I want knees strong enough that when I'm old, I'll be able to walk, maybe climb up a stair or two. I want arms strong enough that will be able to push me off the ground if I do fall as a 70-year-old. At the same time, I have aesthetic goals also, which you can see from the girls in my vision board. Getting there would take me years and years, but I still have those goals. So I want to start cooking more, eating healthier, being mindful of what I eat, and just exercise more to build a body that I like right now and I'll also like when I'm older. I don't know if any of that makes any sense. Creator and consumer. I want to make more digital products. Last year, I made a website where you can make loyalty cards for your own goals, and I truly loved the process of making it. It is the perfect balance of creativity and problem solving, and seeing people actually use it was so fulfilling. So I want to do more of it. I am indeed a digital product designer. I sometimes forget that. So I want to make more productivity products, more just things that are fun to use and cool to look at. And it also deals with other things that I want to create, like these videos, maybe get more into the design part of things, and maybe get into a little bit of but at that point I'm kind of overcommitting. So digital products it is. Okay, rapid fire. I want to learn how to stew. I want to learn how to roller skate, which you won't see on the vision board because it's a new obsession that I've developed after seeing Amber Glenn and Alyssa Liu do ice skating. No, they're not the same things, but I'm obsessed. I want to read more, and I finally want to make my space feel like my own. So yeah, I just laid out all the images in an order that felt good to me before gluing them down, which I'm glad that I did not glue all of them down in a random order because I ended up changing the layout quite a bit. I ended up with this awkward space on the top, which I tried to fill, so I hope it doesn't look awkward anymore. Then I had some of the text that I truly relate with, so I added that in there. Lastly, I was very confused if I should add this vision board text on there because it's a vision board. I know it's a vision board. I made this board. But since I had already spent the money to get it printed on paper, I was like, fuck it. Let's put it on the vision board with this unhinged method of using tape, just because I was so lazy to glue each of the single words down one by one. But yeah, that's on there. Giving a call back to the intro of my video, a vision board isn't gonna change your life. Neither can anything else if you truly don't want to change your life. And it's one of the hardest things to come to terms with, even hard to talk about for me for some reason. If you don't want to change anything, nothing will change. Cringe, I know, but to be cringe is to be free. Let me know what are your goals this year, what hobbies you've been into lately. I hope this video helped you in any way, and I hope you're doing very well.